Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be heading to the kitchen. I'm going to be making a big batch of my homemade pie crust. I'm going to do 4 times the batch of my typical pie crust, so then I will be able to make either 4 double crusts or 4 nice thick quiche crusts, or I can make 8 single pie crusts. The single pie crusts are fantastic for pumpkin pie and various fruit pies, something where you just want a nice thin crust underneath your pie. I'll be using my Bosch Universal Plus Mixer today with the large shredder and grater attachment. So I'll show you how the mixer with this added attachment makes it really easy to make a large batch of homemade pie crusts. Alright, so here I have my Bosch Universal Plus Mixer, and what I'm going to be using with it today is the large shredder grater attachment. Now I have a full unboxing video on this attachment for this mixer. It also is compatible with the NutriMill Artiste Mixer, and this attachment works wonderfully for making pie crusts because then you're able to shred or grate some nice cold or frozen butter, and that way you'll get nice pea-sized pieces of butter, which is perfect for making a nice crispy pie crust. So on the mixer, we'll take off its splash guard. We'll set that aside. I'll remove my dough hook. We'll set that aside. And the attachment comes with its own splash guard, so we'll put this one onto our mixer and lock it in place. Next, we're going to add to our mixing drive a drive coupling, and it has a little X shape on the inside here. We need to line that up with the pegs so that it seats down nicely onto our mixer drive. Next, we'll add the disc driver, and that is so that the blade disc will sit onto here. Now I'll be using the shredding disc. It has a coarse on one side and a fine on the other side. I'll be using the coarse side. That just sits right on top. And then we have the final component of the large shredder or grater attachment. And I put this pin when I was doing the initial assembly, which is in that unboxing video. And we're going to put this right through the middle of here and then lock it in place. Now it's all set up and we can prepare our butter. So I'm going to be doing a nice big batch of my homemade pie crust. So I'm going to be using 4 sticks or 1 pound of butter. So here I have my 4 sticks of butter. They're nice and cold, came just out of the freezer. So I'm going to remove this and we'll turn our mixer on to a medium to high setting. So I'll start at number 2, and then I can add this really cold butter into here so I can shred and make some nice small pieces of butter. So if you get that initial squeaking that you just heard when I started up this attachment, all you need to do is add a little neutral oil. I use the avocado oil spray, wipe off the excess, and you're going to put that right onto this little peg here. Then that makes that squeaking noise go away. So let's do this again. So I'll turn it on to a medium setting. I'll start at number 2, then we'll get this butter prepared. There we go. Now we have our pound of butter all prepared and ready to go, making our big batch of homemade pie crusts. So I'm going to take the drive coupling off as well. We can add our dough hook and get our dry ingredients into the mixing bowl. Now we'll get the mixing bowl's splash guard back on here. I'll take out this top part So you can add ingredients, or if you want a larger opening for adding ingredients, you can just add the splash guard later. So to this, we're going to add 6 cups of flour, and I just use an all-purpose flour. Again, this is 4 times my recipe for pie crust. So this will make 8 single pie crusts, or 4 double pie crusts, or 4 nice thick quiche pie crusts. To that, I will add a 1/2 cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. So let me get the splash guard back on here. And I'm going to mix this. I'll do a number 1, then move up to number 2, just to incorporate the butter through our dry ingredients, and then we can add our wet ingredients. Just scrape down the sides here. There's some nice butter I want down in our crust here. And now all those little flecks and pieces of butter that we shredded are incorporated throughout the flour mixture here. So I'm just going to open the top part, and I'll turn the mixer on 1 and move it up to 2, and I will add 2 cups of nice cold water. I'll just add as much water as necessary to get the consistency I want for the pie crust, but it'll probably use the entire 2 cups. Get this little cover back on here. And we'll just mix it until it's pulling away from the side of the mixing bowl just a little bit more. There we go. Now we have 4 times my pie crust recipe. Now what you can do is either eyeball it and create 4 double crust portions and freeze that, or you can portion it out single crust pie crust. I have measured my mixing bowl ahead of time, and it was 850 grams. So I'm going to take my kitchen scale, measure this out, and then I'll just simply divide the weight minus the mixing bowl by 8. Alright, so I measured the weight of the dough with the bowl, subtracted the bowl, and divided by 8 pie crusts. So each pie crust will be 242.5 grams. So I have a bowl here. I'm just going to scoop some of the pie crust dough out till I get the right amount, and then I can package each of the pie crusts into a freezer safe bag, and I can store these in the freezer and use them over the next few months. So what I like to do is shape my pie crust into kind of a disc shape. That way it kind of helps me out once I take them out of the freezer and I thaw them overnight in the refrigerator. And when it comes time to roll them out to put into a pie pan or dish, they're already kind of in that round shape. So let's get the rest of our pie crusts all measured out and put into freezer safe bags. All right, well here we have 4 times the batch of my homemade pie crust, or be 4 nice thick quiche crusts, or 4 double pie crusts, or what I did today is I portioned it out and made 8 single pie crusts. These pie crusts are great for sweet or savory pies or quiches. They store wonderfully in the freezer. I just simply take the pie crust inside of the sealed freezer safe bag and just thaw that in the refrigerator overnight. And the next day I take it out of the bag and roll it out and place it into my baking pan, and I have a pie crust all ready to go. My future self will thank me for the efforts in this, and by using the Bosch Universal Plus Mixer, as well as that great new attachment, the large shredder grater, I was able to make large quantity in a short amount of time. And if you also have the NutriMill grain mill, then you can also make your own flour. So you can do different types of flours. Maybe you have food allergies or sensitivities, so then you can still make your own homemade pie crust using that particular flour that works for you. Right now, Bosch and NutriMill do have a nice holiday special going on. They have $50 off the mixer, so the Bosch Universal Plus or the NutriMill Artiste, as well as the classic NutriMill grain mill. They're all $50 off. So be sure to follow my link in the description below to check out what sales and offers they have going on. If you really enjoy baking, or have a family member or loved one who enjoys baking, they also have the Universal Plus Mixer with the sourdough bundle, $165 off. That's a really good deal. I thought I'd pass that along to you guys. And even if there isn't a sale going on by the time you watch this video, if you follow my link and use the promo code Homestead at checkout, you'll receive $20 off of your purchase. Well, if you enjoy baking, or if you'd like some more ideas or inspiration on things you can bake at home, be sure to check out my playlist of In the Oven, where I have a number of baking recipes in there. And I also have an unboxing video on the attachment that I used today, so be sure to check that out if you'd like more information on that as well. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button below and continue to watch my channel, The Home and Homestead, for some more homemade, homegrown, and home style inspiration. Well, I hope that you're having a wonderful day. See you next time. Take care.